to Red White Redemption. My name is Austin, and today we're going to talk about 9/11. Today is a sad day because we remember all those people who gave their life to run into a building to save another person and sacrifice themselves knowing they may not come home, might not see their families. And it's just a great honor to represent and think about them today. And that brings up to where I was on 9/11. I was in ninth grade. I was in English class, I think, and I watched the planes hit the second tower, and then I watched the first and the second tower fall to the ground. Now, I knew there that America has changed. It would be changed forever. It was the worst day since Pearl Harbor. But even though it was so bad, and all those great people sacrificed themselves to save another person, one thing was good, or came good about it after 9/11. And that was that America united and put aside all of our differences, and we became one nation. Now, today's America, it breaks my heart because we're just always fighting. It's the Republicans did this, the liberals do this, and they just hate each other all the time. And I'm not sure why. I'm not saying I'm not guilty of saying things too. I lean on a more conservative Christian side and follow what the Bible and Jesus says. And I've said terrible things. I'm not a scumbag. I'm the first one to admit it. That's why I need Jesus. But it's just so sad that we just can't put our differences aside and be like, hey, I still love you. I disagree with you. I have no idea what you're saying. I'm not going to do that. But you know what? You go do you, and I'll go do me. And that's fine. We need to get back to that. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is Matthew 22:36-40. And this is where Jesus is talking. And he says, "Teacher, what is the greatest commandment in the law?" And Jesus replied, "Love your God with all your heart, all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like this: love your neighbor as yourself." The Christians, we fail this all the time. People on the left fail this. Republicans fail this. People just fail people in general. But we can get back to putting our differences aside and come together as Americans. And I pray all the time that I hope that happens, because we're just going down a path that we don't want to go to. And the saddest thing about it all is like the fighting between the two groups is like they're picking football teams. That, oh man, my team is going to beat your team, and it's insane. These people are politicians. They are nothing more than public servants. I served 8 years. I am not special. I don't claim to be special at all. I don't care. Everybody thinks people think my service. It just feels weird because I didn't do it for me. I did it for someone else, something greater than me. And that's how these people and these politicians should be. They should go and serve and to not better themselves and enrich themselves with power, but to represent the people who put them there. These people live in Washington, D.C. or Northern Virginia, the most expensive places in America, making $200,000 a year, but somehow make millions in income. And then they have the audacity to lecture us about inside trading. Now, we all know that they are representing themselves, the money, the power, the lobbyists, and their donors, and we all know that. And they just want to keep us fighting all the time, over and over and over again, to keep us divided so we don't pay attention to what they're doing. Now, I don't care what you believe. If you're a liberal, you're a MAGA Republican, if you're a libertarian, vote for people who represent you. And you know, people in the city have different problems than people in the rural areas of the country. You can't govern the two areas the same. And we need to understand that. There's one thing that also just drives me crazy. Is these politicians constantly say it's a threat to our democracy. We do not live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. They would learn that if they went to civics or they paid attention, or maybe they, remember civics back in 1947 that most of them went to school. But the whole point of not living in democracy is so you don't have 51% of Americans rule the other 49%. Now you can be a guy living in BFE America in the middle of a cornfield with a town of 20 people, but you can elect somebody to go to Washington, D.C. to represent you. Because you have different problems than someone else in the world, and that's what the whole point of America is. And I hope today, as we remember all the people who gave their lives trying to save someone else, is that we can unite as Americans like we did after the day after 9/11. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.